Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the SoFlo Soccer channel. My name is Matt, your host. As always, today it has been reported, officially confirmed by Tom Bogart, Fabrice Fafa Picault it will be joining Inter Miami for the 2025 season on a free. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into a bunch of other transfer news that has been circulating over the last couple of days. And, this is a very, very exciting time for Inter Miami. And now that the New Year's coming up, we got a bunch of transfers coming up, and we already have our first signing right before the New Year. So very exciting stuff. Before we get into all of that, hope everybody had a good holiday, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Hope everybody has a good holiday, and hopefully everybody's preparing for the new year uh, with style and with proper fashion. And speaking of fashion, I got a very very beautiful. I am in love with this jersey, guys. You have no idea. Like literally, this is so I love it so much. Shout out. You know who you are. You got it for me. Santa got it for me actually this year. It is an awesome gift and I love it so much. I've been waiting for this stream to put it on for the very first time. I love it. I love the color. I love how it fits on me. It's absolutely amazing. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. What's up, guys? Appreciate you guys in the chat for stopping by. Um, okay, let's talk about Fafa. Okay, who is Fafa? Uh, where does he play? How does he fit into the team? Is he a good signing? Is he a bad signing? All of the above. Let's get into it. First of all, okay, let me clarify this. I know I was very ambitious with the title, with the thumbnail. Fafa has not been confirmed by Inter Miami, but he will be probably by right after the new year. So, but I think it's safe to say that he is going to be an Inter Miami player very very soon, or at least he will be confirmed as an Inter Miami player very very soon. So that's why I went with the thumbnail and the title. But who is Fafa? Fafa, uh, Haitian, U.S. international, played for the Whitecaps in 2024, 1 year contract. That's why he was available on a free. Tallied 10 goals and 8 assists in over 2,000 minutes, so he got a lot of game time for a 33-year-old, a veteran, an older guy, 33-year-old going on 34 in February. So he's an older gentleman, right? He's an older player, which a lot of people can argue, but we already got Messi in the Fantastic Four. We already got a bunch of old guys. Why aren't we bringing in young guys? Um, but I think this is pretty good for Inter Miami. This we have a team that I think is very not I shouldn't say very inexperienced. We have a coach that's definitely inexperienced with the league. We have a bunch of players who haven't played in this league before. Uh and I think Pico could definitely be that guy to help strengthen Inter Miami from an experience perspective and hopefully a veteran's perspective. He's played for numerous amounts of MLS clubs. He's played for Dallas, he's played for Philly, Nashville, Houston, and obviously Vancouver just now. Um, but so he is very very well known. He knows the league back and front. He's also played a couple of years abroad. What's up, Easy Rebellion? What's up, guys? Um, he played a couple of years abroad, so he definitely knows um, his way around the league. So I think that would be definitely a positive thing for Inter Miami. But and even for a 33-year-old, 34-year-old, he still has um I guess you could say the work rate and the stamina of a younger player, which is amazing to hear considering the fact that we have a bunch of older guys that aka Messi and Suarez, no hate on them, we love them to death, but they just don't contribute a lot on defense. And I think Pico is literally the complete opposite. That like Pico's going to be running around the field like he's 27 years old and he's going to be just all over the place. Hopefully he can get the minutes that he got with Whitecaps. Don't know if that's going to be the case. That's something we'll I don't know, we'll have to discuss as maybe the preseason goes on to see who we bring in and things like that. But um, yeah, that's essentially who he is. I mean, 34-year-old winger. He plays on the wing, so he's essentially the kind of not the replacement or even a maybe a backup, but let's just say a competitor for Robert Taylor, and even with Leo Afonso, who's going to be there, and even with potentially the newer signings that Inter Miami could be bringing in this January. So, um, it's so yeah, I think he'll bring real depth into that role, into that spot. I think even if he isn't a starter, which honestly I kind of hope he gets a lot of game time. Don't know if he's going to get 2,000 minutes because I think Robert Taylor, who hasn't really played a lot, I think he played like just over 1,000 minutes. If we can get 1,000 minutes out of Fafa, like a proper good 1,000 minutes from Fafa, I think that is an amazing like deal. Like I think that's absolutely amazing for us and for him, honestly, as well. We have Ash in the chat saying kept calling him a real mother Fafa when he played Miami. That's true. I mean, like he played Miami. What was it in the Leagues Cup final? Back in 2023, Messi's first year. We obviously ended up beating them on penalties, but Fafa was actually the one who scored the goal for Nashville, is who we played in that final. So, yeah, no, I mean, and that's kind of what I kind of want to get into. I mean, like he was a real problem. It's like everybody's gonna point at his age, but I feel like people who really know him. I'm not gonna say I'm an expert on him at all. Like it's not like I've been watching, footage of him like for his entire career, but just by what other people are saying and just kind of what I've saw from him this year and even when we played Nashville in 2023, I think he could be a real sleeper. I mean, like people know who he is, so he's not going to be a real sleeper. But I think he's going to be somebody like a 34-year-old. You're not going to expect a lot from him, but I think he's going to do a lot for Inter Miami. I don't want to put too much pressure on him because, like I said, don't know how much game time he's actually going to get. Whether he's a rotational player, whether he's just kind of an emergency backup, whatever the case may be. Um, but he's a great player, guys, and he's going to do really really well for us. Now, what are we gonna pay him? So, according to, I mean, I was looking on the MLS site, and seeing how much the Whitecaps were paying him in 2024. They said, or the MLS website said that they're paying him. It was like 650 base salary, guaranteed 670,000. So honestly, that's like essentially the max amount you could play a senior player for like you know what I mean. The senior player. That's a max amount you could pay a senior player. So we get him on a free. We essentially we're probably gonna pay the max you can pay a senior player, which is I guess it's fine. Or maybe we'll pay like maybe 600K. He doesn't take up an international roster slot, which I also checked. I checked on the Vancouver site. If I could show you guys here, I checked on the Vancouver site. Says that he doesn't take up an international roster slot. Oh, you can't even see my face, so that's great. Now you can. Takes up an international. He doesn't take up an international roster slot, as you can see here. So it's very. He's essentially a free player, like a completely free player that's not going to cost us a single thing. So honestly, it's this is a very rare W, I think, from Inter Miami in terms of signings. In terms of signings in the MLS, I should say, because this is our first kind of like real MLS like experience signing outside of maybe you could say Julian Gressel from last year. Because the only reason why Julian Gressel is on our team is because of Tata Martino. So surprisingly enough, with now that obviously Tata Martino is gone, we have Javier Mascherano, we have a new board with Chris Henderson not being in here. So we have slightly newer personnel on the board and slightly new personnel making these decisions. And this is an impressive decision for the new personnel. For Javier Mascherano, El Jefecito, for oh my god, I forget the Barca's guy's name, but you know what I'm talking about. For the board, I think it's very very good. I didn't know we were gonna sign Fafa, to be honest. I didn't know that was gonna be an option for us because I was reading an article that MLS posted. I don't know if it was a day ago or a couple of days ago, but they were listing out like players that were free agents or that they were available like ones to watch in the free agent section for the 2025 season, and Fafa was on there. So I'm like, oh, and I saw it. I'm like, oh, Fafa's on here, and there was a bunch of other guys that I think we should be buying, but I'll get that to another stream. Um, but I didn't think we were gonna get him because it's like, oh, we're just gonna focus on bringing international players, Argentinian players, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that we brought this guy in, honestly, says a lot. So I like this deal. I rate it very, very highly. I think that no matter what he does, whether that's off the bench or become a starter, I think he's gonna do a lot of good things for the club. Now, let's see what you guys are saying. We have Skrilla in the chat. Skrilla saying, I like Fafa signing. He is good when we rotate the squad and good if we need a late goal. He is fast. Um, yeah, I mean, essentially, like I said, he is a proper. He could be one of our engines on the field. A couple of we have a couple of players that I think they could do that. Whether you could say Banka Kamashi can do it, whether you could say Gressel can do it. Gomez did it in this past year. So I think that replacing Gomez in that sense when it comes to the work rate, I think this is a definite match. So hopefully we can not hope. I mean, like I'm hoping to see that from Fafa this in 2025. Just a lot of just high work rate, high intensity, just running around the field, and honestly just creating a bunch of chances. If he can create, like, I mean, he got 18 goal contributions in 2024. So I mean, if he can do that in 2025 or somewhat replicated, I think that's pretty good. We have AC Lynette in the chat saying, "What's up, yo?" We have Thomas also saying he likes it too. So Miami will have a lot of lone players coming to not break the rules. Okay, it's funny that you mentioned that. I mean, let's wrap up talking about Picault and Fafa, and then we can get into that because that's something that I want to talk about because these rumors are becoming more than just rumors at this point. In the beginning, it was, oh, okay, we're linked with this guy, and it's like, okay, now we're in deep talks because we have journalists from Argentina reporting the news. We have even reporters from Spain, some very small reporters, but we have them reporting the news as well. So it's definitely kind of things to watch. So we'll get that in a second. We'll wrap up very quickly talking about Fafa because honestly, this is just, I mean, we have really nothing more really to say about Fafa except that he is going to fit well for the team. I think he'll be a good. Okay, let me say this. Let me say this. With Fafa coming in, it's great. It's great for the team. It's great with experience. It's great what he could bring on the field. It's great. It's a great move financially and logistics wise. It's an amazing move. Um, Now is it enough? Now this is not speaking just specifically about Fafa. Is he enough? I'm saying is this signing enough? Is this one signing enough for this position? We have Robert Taylor in the position. We have Leo Alfonso returning from injury for this season. So, and he most likely he'll probably get some game time off the bench, of course, as a substitute, hopefully an impact substitute as he was in 2024. But we don't know if Javier Mascherano wants to keep Robert Taylor in the plans. We don't know if Robert Taylor is even going to be starting. Is Picault going to be the starter? Do we have the other rumored players who is going to be starting? We need to identify who's going to be our starter because if we can identify that, then we have to identify the backups. Um, and when we play in competitions like Club World Cup, and when we play in Leagues Cup and CONCACAF Champions Cup, and obviously MLS in the regular season and postseason, this is a lot of tournaments. We're going to be playing a lot of games. We're going to need that depth. So if it's just going to be Fafa, Robert Taylor, and Leo Afonso, I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's enough. I think we're going to need one more at minimum in that position, in the left wing position, because that's what I'm assuming Fafa is going to be playing in. I think we're going to need one more in that position, whether that's a younger player, it's one of these loanees that is going to be coming in, whether that's another older player, which I highly doubt, whether that's a marquee signing, superstar franchise signing, not sure. But I think there has to be at least one more signing in that position for me personally to say, okay, I feel secure going into this season. I think we have enough depth just in case somebody gets injured, we get tired, the match congestion gets a little bit too much for when players like Messi and them go away for international duty. These are all things you have to consider. I mean, we're gonna have to sign a right wing. We're gonna have to sign probably another center mid. We're gonna have to sign more defenders. We have a lot of plays. We need a lot of depth in a lot of areas. And so yes, I like the signing. I think this is a great first step for Inter Miami. I think this is a great move for us to begin 2025 and to begin our transfer moves or our team building. But I think we're gonna need more. We have a lot of time. Inter Miami have a lot of time. They're already rumored with a bunch of players. We let's just hope that they bring the right players for that. We're gonna see what you guys say about Fafa. We'll get into some final thoughts, and then if anything pops up into my mind, we'll talk about that, and then we'll move on to some of the other rumors that are going around, circulating with Inter Miami. So we have Ash Pritam, welcome back, Ash, saying we will have a full squad. Will we have a full squad by the Club America friendly? That friendly is in. It's like the second. It's like mid-January, right? Or am I crazy? Inter Miami versus Club America. Inter Miami versus Club America. I forget off the top of my head when that happens. It's January 18th. So in my opinion, no. I honestly, that's too soon. I mean, when you think of when the MLS regular season starts, it's in March. I think that we'll probably have. I think we'll have one more signing by then, at minimum, at least. I think either maybe two. We'll probably have maybe two more signings by the 18th. I don't think it's going to be a full squad though. I still think we're going to be doing a lot more moves. We need to bring in a lot of players. We need to bring in a lot of players, and whether that's more players like Fafa, whether that's experience, like we need to make sure that we bring in a lot of players and that those players don't take up a lot of room, whether in our game, like take up a lot of take up a lot of salary space, take up international roster slots, take up a DP. Like if we can just bring in more like Fafa type players in terms of squad registration, we're gonna be set in terms of depth. But we have so much work to do in terms of transfers. Jay says, "Let's go Fafa the Gazelle." I like it, dude. I like it. I'm very excited to see Fafa play for us, and hopefully we can see him play in this preseason. Hopefully he'll get quite a few minutes. We have. I was surprised that of the Fafa signing, but I think this is a very good one. I think this caught a lot of people by surprise. Like I said previously, you wouldn't really expect this, especially from Inter Miami with the new head coach and the new and some new board members, because you would just mainly expect international signings. But I think they realized, or somebody spoke to them. I know for a fact somebody spoke to them saying, "Hey, you guys just can't simply sign every Argentinian you know or any Spanish person you know. You need to sign American veterans or just American players in general, MLS players in general." So they listened. They brought in Fafa. I'm very happy with it. It's a very, very smart move. We have John in the chat also saying it's not only Fafa. I saw in the news they're talking about Ascende Cuello. John, don't even stress it, dude. Don't even stress it. Literally, I have all three of those player profiles pulled up. Don't worry. We're gonna get into that literally in 2 minutes as soon as we're done talking about Fafa. Don't you worry. We're gonna get straight into that, John. Tom is saying, of course, just Fafa is not enough. Don't worry, more players coming. We got a lot of money and cap salary. For some reason, I just feel like we're kind of rich right now. I feel like we're feeling good. We got a little bit of money in our pockets. We're feeling a little bit heavy there. Um, but hopefully we don't kind of overspend it. You know what I'm saying? But I think with the selling or the trading, whatever terminology you want to use, with Campana and obviously with Diego Gomez, dude, the money that came in for Diego Gomez, like that's making our pockets drop to the floor. So I think we're kind of balling out right now. So just with Fafa being on a free, I think it just helps our pockets even more. So I think we're getting ready to sign a crazy, crazy player, whether that's Neymar, whether that's like a Kevin De Bruyne, whether that's like whatever, a Salah, like some big, crazy European player, like superstar, whether that's one of them. I feel like we're getting ready for our like marquee signing, our franchise player signing. Rebellion saying, nah, probably not by mid-January. I'm assuming that means getting a squad ready. Tommy's saying we can bring a lot of loan players with the option to buy and not use a lot of games. Yes, sir. Tommy, you're so. I love that you guys are pretty smart. You guys are pretty smart when it comes to MLS rules. I mean, it took me a while to like learn all this stuff, so I'm very glad that you guys know what you're talking about. So Francisco is asking, what percent of the Gomez sale did Libertad take? Oh my gosh, dude. It couldn't have been that much. Off the top of my head, I have no idea. But to be honest, we got the majority of that sale. Um, we got the majority of that sale. So I think so if Gomez left for what? 14 mil? Something like that, right? Like he left for like 14 mil. Yeah, he becomes a player on January 1st, following an 11 million euro bid, 14 mil move from Inter Miami. He'll be available, whatever. Um, doesn't say anything about Libertad and what Libertad is gonna be paying. Honestly, low key it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, like Libertad can get whatever the hell they want. Like I said, highly doubt they get everything. Or they get a lot. They probably get like a couple percent, maybe 10% at most. Like there's no way they're getting more than that. But we're getting the majority of the money. I would say we're getting about like 8 mil for it. Like maybe 10. Like I think we're getting a good chunk. We're getting a really good chunk from the Gomez deal. I have full confidence in that. But anyway, but yeah, wrapping up the Fafa talk. Huge signing for Inter Miami. W signing. Hopefully he can bring a lot for us, whether that's off the bench or as a starter. Who? Okay, now the real question is, and I feel like a lot of people are gonna want to talk about this. Who else are we gonna bring in? Who else is Inter Miami gonna be bringing in? We're gonna bring it back to John's comment right here with the first player that he mentioned being none other than, if I could pull it up, Tadeo Allende. Now, Tadeo Allende currently plays for Celta Vigo in Spain. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This guy has played. I kid you not. He's played 1 minute for Celta Vigo. He's played 1 minute for Celta Vigo, and it came off the bench in November against Getafe. It ended up being a 1-0 win. So he has a win under his belt. But yes, he has not gotten almost any minutes for Celta Vigo this season. He's played 2 games in the Copa del Rey. He's actually scored in both of those games, but guess what? It's with Unionistas this Salamanca, and then with San Pedro, who are just lower division sides. He's played what 45 minutes, 50 minutes here. So yeah, he hasn't played a lot. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what to expect with him. Obviously, he played in the Argentinian league, so he's gotten a lot. If I could try to pull that up, but he's played in the Argentinian league. He's gotten obviously quite a bit of minutes there, scoring a couple goals, getting a couple goal contributions in his time in the Argentinian league. As you can see here, he could play in essentially all attacking positions. But to be honest, I don't know how I feel about this signing, or this would be a loan move if we ended up going through with it. Don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. But this is a funny comment. I really like that. Don't know how I feel about it. I really like the other two moves more than this one. If we don't get Tadeo, I'm not gonna be upset because I mean I would rather not get a player that has only played 100 minutes this season in 2024. So I'd rather not get this guy. So but he could play on the left, he could play on the right. So this is just another wing option as a backup, I'm assuming. Um and like you guys said in the comments, because he would be a lone player, he doesn't really take up, we're not breaking any rules. He doesn't really take up anything except for I guess cap, like salary cap. But he doesn't take up anything in terms of GAM. I'm not sure, or I guess it depends on what deal they actually come across. But um if I mean, like, if he could come to the MLS, right, Tadeo, and if he can come to the MLS, he can absolutely ball out when Messi's not playing, or maybe he could play on the left wing. Then fair play. But as of right now, I'm not really too sure because obviously he hasn't gotten a lot of minutes. Thomas being pretty saying that he has a nice shot. I'm gonna take your word for it, Thomas. I'm not saying that he's a bad player. I'm just saying that we just don't know because like we you, I understand that Celta Vigo is a big team in Spain, and playing in Europe is a whole hell of a lot different than playing in anywhere in the Americas, whether that's South America, North America. It's very very different. There's a lot more pressure. The skill level is higher, whatever. But 100 minutes in a year, that's not really good. So I mean, hey, if we can take him and he absolutely balls out for us, fair play. And if we can get him on the loan, maybe we can get the buy at the end of the loan. I think that'll be good. So if we get him, I'm obviously gonna hope for the best. But it's you know, it's kind of like I said, it's questionable. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know how this is gonna work out. But hey, it is what it is. Francisco already downplaying on Celta Vigo. Hey, bro, we gotta put some respect, bro. We gotta put some respect on Celta Vigo, bro. We gotta put some respect on Celta Vigo. We can't be disrespecting him on the stream, dude. Come on, Francisco. Dale, Francisco, you already know. We have Del Morva in the chat saying good greetings, fellow footballer. What's up, bro? Come on, Francisco. Come on, dude. We need more respect for Celta Vigo. Anyways, guys, come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's move on. Let's go back to John's comment. John, Cuello. Let's talk about Cuello before we talk about Lujan. Let's talk about Cuello because Lujan is a defensive player, so we're gonna save him for last. Let's talk about Cuello. Cuello, Argentino, obvio, from San Lorenzo, 24 years old. This is we're in pretty heavy talks with this guy. We're in pretty heavy talks. This is most likely gonna happen. So I mean, what do you guys feel about this? About the Cuello? I mean, like, do you guys want him? Do you not want him? This would essentially be the Campana replacement. Um, is he as good as Campana? We don't know. It literally says here that he just joined San Lorenzo. Like he will be a San Lorenzo player on January 1st. So that's kind of crazy. He's not even gonna play a single minute for San Lorenzo before he joins us. Um, um, in or whatever. But anyway, oh no, he was at San Lorenzo, then he went on loan to Almagro. Okay. Gotcha. Never mind. That's on me. Anyway, um, but yeah, no, we're literally linked with three San Lorenzo players. Kojo being the first one, back up to Campana. I know. I'm gonna be honest. I know nothing about this guy. The most I know about him, were literally like the highlights that I watched, before this stream, like earlier today. I watched like highlights of him. I watched like how he plays, try to see like more or less like of certain games. What I could tell is that I didn't see any highlights of him with San Lorenzo. I only saw highlights of him with Almagro. With Almagro in I believe they play in the second division, or like they play in a lower division in Argentina. So he's a very confident player. From what I could tell, he's a very confident player. Um, he's not afraid to take shots from anywhere. He takes the opportunity. If he sees an opportunity, he will take it. Uh, you can call him a poacher. He gets into the right spots in the box. They normally play, I believe, Almagro with two strikers up top or with two forwards, but he's really good at just kind of being in the right place at the right time. With the Argentina, it's different to compare the Argentinian league, obviously, with MLS because even though they're both really physical leagues, Argentina is Argentina, right? Like Argentina is a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game in Argentina, but he played mainly in empty stadiums. So don't know if that's going to have a factor on him. I would say no. I don't think that should have any factor on his game when he comes here and plays here. But at the end of the day, you got to think, oh, okay, I'm going to be playing behind Suarez. I'm playing in front of thousands of people, and we're like Chase Stadium is gonna be sold out every single time, like guaranteed. It's gonna be sold out every single time, especially because it's the last season at Chase Stadium, and not even at Chase Stadium, but when you travel away, it's gonna be packed, 100%. So maybe that'll take a toll on him, but anyway. But yeah, he's a physical player. He's a confident player. So what I did hear from him from San Lorenzo fans, because I did some research and I tried looking and listening to San Lorenzo fans on YouTube in articles or whatever. Apparently, Cuello is a good player when he wants to be. So when Cuello is a good player, like he'll be a good player if he wants to be a good player. Um, Other than that, he'll completely disappear. Like I heard somebody, I think his name is Pablo. I saw a YouTube video. He's a San Lorenzo fan. He does San Lorenzo news. He said about Cuello, he said when he disappears, he completely disappears. Like there's no like in the middle performances with him. He'll either be really good or really bad. So I guess that's kind of the downside on Cuello. So I mean, when Suarez is injured, or God forbid, knock on wood, if Suarez is injured and Cuello steps up, if he were to step up, will he step up? Will he fill in those shoes? Because that is a lot of expectations. That is a lot of pressure for somebody of, what is he, 23, I believe. He's like 23 years old, 24, turning 25 in February. Um, filling in the shoes of Suarez in front of a full stadium, and you're one of the favorites to win the MLS again. Like, you have pressures to win the whole thing. I don't know. Let's see if he can handle it. Like I said, he's a confident player, so maybe he will be able to. But that's Cuello. We have two more players to talk about. Two more San Lorenzo players to talk about. Now, the first one we're gonna get into. It's gonna be another forward. That's the whole reason why I'm talking about these guys. About this guys. These are forwards. These are wingers that we could bring in along with Fafa. And this player, I'm gonna try to say his name because my reading sucks. My pronunciation suck with these names. But his name is Ivan Leguizamon. I think I absolutely nailed that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ivan Leguizamon. So Ivan Leguizamon, like I said, another winger, plays on the right primarily. He could play left wing. He could play cam as well. I believe he is left-footed. I believe he is left foot. He is left-footed. I said it right here. He is left-footed. I saw highlights of this guy too. I tried doing some research on this guy as well. Um, he played mainly. He's a very new player. He played mainly for the second team, for San Lorenzo, and then I think he got some proper minutes. Yeah, he got a bunch of minutes for the first team in the top tiers and whatever. But I saw like a mix of highlights between him playing for the second team and him playing for the first team. Um, so, but yeah, no, I mean, like he's played a substantial amount of minutes, I guess. I mean, here, if we separate it just by the 2023 season, because I just realized that was summarizing his whole career. In this 2023-2024 season, he's played over 2,500 minutes, 2,600 minutes he's played. Which is great. That's a lot of game time. In the Liga Profesional, in 25 games, 3 goals, 1 assist. Not a lot of goal contributions. What I did find out about this guy with the highlights that I did see, like I said, he's a left-footed player. He plays on the left. His crosses are really, really good. He has a nice foot to his game. His crosses are really, really good. On set pieces, he looked very good as well, especially from corners. He really, really whips that ball in swinging. Um, it's really, really good. So maybe we can put him on set pieces if Messi's not there. I mean, I honestly don't even know who our set piece taker would be if Messi doesn't play. I'm assuming it would be this guy if we would bring him in. So we could honestly, him being a backup to Messi, if he could play on the left, sure. Being a backup to Fafa, to Robert Taylor. I don't even know if we're gonna keep Robert Taylor. We might let Robert Taylor go at the end of the year or even now. But this guy honestly could be good. I have a good feeling about this guy. This guy could be a good backup. Born in 2002, so that means he'll turn 23 in 2025. So the problem is with this guy, though. Obviously, this guy would come on a loan. If we were to get him permanently, I think they would want a substantial amount of money for him. If I remember correctly, the San Lorenzo fan said this. I think he said 7 mil. Do not quote me on that at all. Do not quote me on that at all. But I think it's 7 mil. I know the value says he's valued at 3.5. I think it's 7 mil. I think it could be less. It could be 4 mil, and I could just be crazy. But I think I saw somewhere saying that we would be spending quite a bit if we were to bring him in. So we'll see what happens. Del Morva is in the chat saying, "Will Fafa be available for the Club World Cup?" My safe answer would be yes, because he was essentially confirmed as an Inter Miami player as of yesterday by Tom Bogart. He's not been confirmed as an Inter Miami player by Inter Miami themselves, but because it officially came out by a very reliable, or I should say, the MLS Oracle, as in Tom, then Inter Miami should be coming out with that news any day now, probably after the new year. So they'll probably open up the new year with that announcement, and if that's the case, then we'll have him fit and ready to go by the time Club World Cup starts. So he's a free agent. He has no club right now, so he's probably finding a house in Miami as we speak, or he probably already has one because he lived in Miami before. He's lived in South Florida. He played for Fort Lauderdale Strikers. I'm pretty sure he grew up in like this area for like a portion of his childhood, so he knows the area. He should have a house here. So I'm pretty sure like transitioning from Vancouver to Miami should be no problem, or to Fort Lauderdale should be no problem. Francisco in the chat saying, "I heard that San Lorenzo wants to loan Leguizamon, but wants to sell the other two. They are having a yard sale, San Lorenzo. They are in need of money." That is what dude, this guy that I heard, the San Lorenzo fan that I was getting like information from, I think his name is Pablo. I really feel bad that I can't remember his last name, but he was speaking in Spanish, San Lorenzo fan, and he was like, "Dude, we're dead broke. Like San Lorenzo is dead broke." So honestly, I feel like whoever San Lorenzo could let go, I feel like they're gonna want to let go because they're in desperate need of money. And like you said, Francisco, they want to sell these guys. They don't want to loan them out. They want to sell them. But with the loan comes a fee. So these loans are not free. So to my understanding, and from the research that I have done, I could be completely wrong because I'm an idiot sometimes, right? I could be completely wrong. But and because we will never know for sure until the MLS or somebody from Argentina or somebody releases it. Like some official personnel releases this information. But with the loan deal, let's say we bring in Leguizamon and let's say we bring in Cuello, we're probably going to pay a fee on a loan for both of them. We're probably going to bring in a fee. Let's say for Leguizamon, it would be like maybe 600K. So that'll probably come out of our GAM. And then for Cuello, let's just say it's like 400K, 500K in GAM. But that's just for the loan fee. And then, so they'll probably want to take that, San Lorenzo, if the fee is high enough for them, like if it's worth it to them to let them go on loan for a year for 500K, 600K each, then they'll get a mil just for a year, then bring them back, and then if Inter Miami want to buy him at the end of the year, then so be it. But I think we could get these guys on a loan, considering the fact we give them a pretty good loan fee. And in my opinion, it would be around 500K in that vicinity. So, and that'll come out of our GAM, but honestly, a mil out of our GAM shouldn't be the end of the world, considering the fact that we've been making pretty good moves recently. But we have Francisco saying source for Agustin Musu. I'm honest, that was not the source. I don't think that was the source I was looking at. But if you guys want to check out that source, or I'll probably check it out, then go for it. I swear the guy that I was listening to, his name was Pablo. I swear to God, his name was Pablo. I could be, I don't know. I'll probably link it in the description after the live stream. I could be absolutely crazy. But Leguizamon, how do I rate it? So if we have Leguizamon, if we have Fafa, if we have Robert Taylor, if we have Leo Afonso, uh yeah, I think I'd be chill. I'll be chilling with those four players because if Robert Taylor's inconsistent, if honestly, if any one of them is as inconsistent as they could be, not because they're not going to be perfect, um, we have backups. We have three other backups. So if Robert Taylor's inconsistent, we have Fafa, we have Leguizamon, we have Leo Afonso if he decides to pop off. Um, Now, when Messi leaves, who's going to play on that? Is Leguizamon going to be playing on that right wing? Is Gressel going to be playing on that right wing? We have to see what happens, what Mascherano wants to cook up. Um, Leguizamon, like I said, he primarily plays on that right wing, so we could be seeing him there, and maybe Gressel could move to the right wing back spot, to the center mid spot. Maybe he won't be played. Maybe we'll be letting Gressel go. We don't know, because like I said, remember at the beginning of the stream, I said it, and I think everybody knows this. But Gressel is only here because of Tata Martino, because of that connection with Tata Martino, because Tata coached him back with Atlanta and whatever. So if Mascherano doesn't want him, we could be seeing Gressel being traded. I'm not saying he will be, but maybe. Maybe we'll see it. Probably not, but we'll see what happens. Ace Lionel. Ace Lionel wants to move on already. Ace Lionel. Pero espera un poco, che. We need a right back. And who is it going to be? It's going to be this guy. It's going to be Gonzalo Lujan. Gonzalo Lujan, another player from San Lorenzo. Por Dios, we're taking everybody from San Lorenzo. Might as well be called San Lorenzo CF. I'm not going to lie to you. 3 players from San Lorenzo we are linked to. This is a right back. This is primarily, supposedly, he primarily plays right back, but he has the versatility to play further up the field in right mid. He plays center back, and according to Solana, which I'll pull up in a second, but according to Solana, if you guys don't know Solana, he's appeared. I think he considers himself as a journalist. I don't want to disrespect him, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't know his proper title. I'm pretty sure he considers himself as a journalist, so I'll call him a journalist. I seen him make multiple appearances um, at the Battered Herons Network. I don't know why I forgot their name for a second. I literally watch them every single time. Here, I just found the tweet. How do I do it? How do I switch? I want to stream this one. I want to stream this window. How do I do it? There we go. This is the tweet that I saw from Solana. Um, it says, here's some quick facts about Gonzalo Lujan, possible future Inter Miami player. 23-year-old right back who can also play center back and CM. 36 games played in 2024, I'm assuming. 2,500 minutes. Liga Profesional 19, Copa Libertadores 7, Copa Argentina 1, and Copa de la Liga 9. 3 out of 4 matches played in the 2024 Olympic Games for Argentina. Is he going to replace Cheno? I'll read your opinions, and then everybody has their opinions here. Oh, I guess not. I guess everybody don't have their opinions on here. But they'll probably talk about it on his Discord or something, or on a Discord. But that is the player. That is the player that will be, or hopefully, I think it might. I'm kind of hoping for this move because he looks like a really good player. From what I saw in the Olympics, from what I've seen in the footage, because I've looked at footage of him as well. In the footage that I've seen him play for San Lorenzo in that right back spot, he looks like a very physical player. He looks like a very confident player. He likes to play long balls. When he needs to, he is a no-nonsense defender. The only thing that I didn't see was attacking highlights. I didn't see anything attacking footage, like any footage of him kind of moving up the field. That could have just been me. But like I said, I was doing all of this research this morning. So, um, brain, catch up, please. So yeah, no. So that's the only thing that I didn't see. But if he is as good as going forward as he is playing at right back and maybe even center back, then I think this could be um a key signing for Inter Miami this winter time. Or I guess it's still summertime because we're in Miami, but you know what I mean, guys. So yeah, I think this could be a pretty key signing for us in January. I mean, obviously, with only having Chelo Wengant in that right back spot, we're going to need somebody else. I don't think Russell's going to be playing there, and I think this is the guy to bring in. Ash is saying, is goalkeeper Losada still in the works or has that deal died? So I'm gonna be honest, there has been no talks about it ever since that we talked about it last time in the last stream. I want to say that it's still in the works because of the fact that Inter Miami are they need a goalkeeper. It's not like, oh, maybe we can sign a goalkeeper, maybe not. No, Inter Miami need a goalkeeper, and I think Losada could still potentially be an Inter Miami player very soon. So the problem, I mean, it's not even a problem. It's like we're just signing a bunch of players from San Lorenzo, so it's like it's kind of crazy to be honest. But I mean, we have the space for all of these guys, which is very good. The only issue with these players, not people, with these players is that they're all going to take up international roster slots. Now, in the MLS, if you guys are unaware of this rule, but I'm sure most of you are because you guys seem pretty smart when it comes to your roster rule knowledge, teams can have like however many roster slots they want as long as it fits the criteria, like as long as they can like register them and pay them and have it all under the salary cap or under the salary budget, it's all good. So they can have as many as you want. I have a spreadsheet. I made my own spreadsheet for how many international players we have. I believe it's 8. Let me show you guys this now. um why is my face so big? I'm like making me smaller. There we go. Okay, so this is something I made based off the information that was given to us earlier in 2024. Um, these are our DPS. These are our players on loan. We have senior players, just like regular senior players that don't have any statuses on the roster. We have TAM players. Then we have our U22 initiatives. Um, Matias Rojas is the only one that's highlighted because there has been no word on Matias Rojas on whether he's going to renew or not. He should, in theory, he should, but we don't know. But without Matias Rojas, because he only had the contract for 1 year, he has the option to extend for 25 and 26. But so not including Matias Rojas, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, four. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 international players at Inter Miami. So bringing in these if we bring in the 3 players that we just talked about plus Losada, that's 4 more international roster slots. Do we have them? Don't think we do. I mean, like we have that one from Campana. We have an extra international slot from Campana. So and then I believe we have another one. I think we should have it. I'm gonna have to redo the math on it and make sure everything lines up. But we should have international roster slots. If not, we're gonna have to make more trades um, with these other clubs because there are a lot of clubs that I think don't need their international roster slots. There are a lot of clubs in the MLS that just sell off their international roster slots instead of keeping them for money. So yeah. Anyway, would Lujan play as the first right back? That is a great question. Rebellion. So in my opinion, I mean, we're just gonna have to see how it goes, right? I mean, so Chelo is literally the only option we have at right back, and I'm assuming that's the only reason why we kept him. It's kind of just as a safety. We had the option to extend his loan, and low key, I don't think Boca want him back. Like I don't think Boca want him to return. So, um, Is he gonna be better than Chelo? Hopefully. Is he gonna be? If he's worse than Chelo, we have big problems, guys. If Lujan is worse than Chelo and Gant, we have absolutely tremendous amount of problems at Inter Miami, because there is no possible way that we can bring in a player that is worse than Chelo and Gant. But I digress. Um, I think regardless, I think he'll be a good backup, because playing Chelo, and I've said this multiple times, and obviously you guys were here for essentially the entire 2024 season when I would say this, but playing Chelo every single game is terrible. We cannot do it. It like we need, first of all, he needs to rest. Second of all, we need to give him competition. Third of all, um, it's just he's just not that good. He's not the best. He's not the best right back out there. So if um if we can bring in Lujan, if we can bring in somebody else, that would be great, just to give him competition, give him a spot to play for. And if this player could be better than Chelo, it'll just be icing on the cake, honestly. Ash thinks that we should sell Taylor to free up an international roster slot. Now, um, Taylor Taylor doesn't take up an international roster slot unless I am absolutely insane. I could be insane, guys. But if I'm not insane, I don't think Taylor takes up an international roster slot. But like I said, I could be extremely crazy. I'm gonna double check that. Um, but I don't think he does. No, he does not. He does well, according to MLS. According from what MLS tells us and from what Inter Miami told us, he does not take up an international roster slot. Um, so Robert Taylor has nothing to do with the international roster slot. The only benefit we would get, I'm getting a phone call. The only bit sorry, let me just text them that I'm busy. But the only benefit we would get out of selling Robert Taylor is cap space and just money. Like, we would get Gam. We were probably, if we were to trade Robert Taylor, if we were to trade Taylor, we would probably ask for an international roster slot. So, which is exactly what we did with Campana. Then yeah, sure, maybe. But I don't know. Is it worth it? Is it not? I don't know. That it all depends on what kind of moves we make within these next couple of weeks and probably this next month. Because I feel like we have a lot more moves to make. Skrilla saying Chilo was not that bad, but we need a second right back. We got too many games this year. Absolutely. Chilo is not the worst right back in the world, but he's not the best. I hated on Chelo a lot last year. I put a lot of pressure on Chelo, and honestly, looking back on it, it's very unfair because he was literally our only option. And even though we had Ian Frey, it was very very risky every time we play Ian Frey, and we paid the price for it. Ian Frey should be returning um, pretty early, if not right at the beginning of the 2025 season. Apparently, he's been recovering very, very well. So we could be seeing him making an early return in 2025, whether that's right at the start of the season or just at some point in the beginning stages. But even with Ian Frey's return, we're still going to need a right back, because we can't make the same mistake we did um, in 2024. I mean, I guess it wasn't really a mistake. It was just unfortunate circumstances. Um, but it's just every time that we play him, it's just a risk of another 20 CL, another 20 CL, meniscus, like whatever. Like it's unfortunate. It's very very unfortunate. So yeah, hoping more wishes to Ian Frey on his recovery, and hopefully we can have him back soon, and hopefully he can not get injured again. Please. We have Francisco in the chat saying you shouldn't have two international spots on players with the same position. You shouldn't have two international spots on players with the same position. Okay. I mean, why not? Why do you say that? Because we had that with Martinez. We literally had that with Martinez, Freire, and Aviles and Chelo. Well, Chelo doesn't play center back, but we literally had it for those three players. Um, Martinez, Freire, Aviles. They were all international players. So, um, are you saying more than two? Like you're saying two is the max? Like we should have like a max of two international players per position. Is that what you're trying to say? Thomas is saying, agree. We cannot count on Frey. Of course, we can't count on Frey, guys. Of course, of course, of course. Poor guy, man. Like he gets injured like it's nobody's business, and he's a phenomenal player, but he needs to recover, and we can't risk him. Um, but um, but no, honestly, in my opinion, if we can if we can bring in Lujan and maybe Cuellar, because remember, guys, these are all San Lorenzo players. So the positive to that is they all played with each other, so they know how to play with each other. They already are familiar. I mean, they all speak Spanish, so they're not gonna have trouble adapting to the team itself. Just the only thing they're gonna be adapting to is the heat, the environment, and playing in MLS and things like that. Playing in these high level competitions with CONCACAF Champions Cup and you could argue Leagues Cup or whatever, and obviously Club World Cup. So that's kind of the only thing. Like, is just Club World Cup and CONCACAF Champions Cup are the two main things I feel like would be the downside to these players who have never played in those competitions before. But I feel like Copa Libertadores and CONCACAF Champions Cup are kind of on the same level in terms of competitiveness, in terms of you're going to be playing against like Central American teams and whatnot. So that's kind of like yeah, it's kind of like this is like our version. Like CONCACAF Champions Cup is, I guess, I don't know if this is a crazy take, but like CONCACAF Champions Cup is essentially the MLS version of Copa Libertadores, which I don't know. You could take that however you want, but it's kind of like the same thing. Obviously, Copa Libertadores is a lot bigger. We're not even gonna get into that argument because it's not even an argument. We need a center back. We need an experienced center back, not young. We need a center back in general. We need a center back. Period. Like just we need like what we need center back. Like whatever we can get. Bet we need a good center back. Um, whether we've been linked with Ramos, we've been linked with the Mexican guy that I forget his name. We've been linked with a bunch of center backs. Obviously, nothing has been like kind of not concrete, but the rumors haven't been consistent or reliable enough to kind of just talk about. Really, these are just kind of just it's just kind of just fun BSing between us. Um, but so that's why I'm not just gonna throw names out there, but we do need a center back. We need a lot of positions and a lot of things, but just kind of to wrap things up because we've been talking for I think we've been talking for about an hour now. So to kind of wrap things up, um, Fafa, amazing signing. Round of applause for Inter Miami. W signing, good signing. I'm happy with that signing. It obviously we're not done. There's still more work to do, but I'm happy with this first step. With these other rumors with the San Lorenzo players and the one player from Celta Vigo, these are good. These are good rumors. These are really good rumors. These are reliable rumors. Like these are probably these transactions are probably going to happen at some point. So hopefully, I'm really hoping for the the Lujan deal, and then if I just shook my entire desk, and if Cuello and if Leguizamon happen, then so be it. But I'm mainly looking forward to the the oh my god I forget all of these names because there's so many players. The freaking Lujan. Why do I keep forgetting these? There's so many players, guys. I'm going crazy. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Lujan mainly. Um, who else? Was that it? I think I went over everybody. Oh, and Losada. We don't know about Losada yet, but we need to sign a goalkeeper. We still need to sign more depth in the wingers position. We need more depth in the defense position, whether that's right back, whether that's center back. We can use another left back as well. Even though we have Noah Allen, I still would like to have another left back, or maybe a wide left-sided center back. Um, Center mid I already said, and then striker if we bring in Cuello, it is what it is. So yeah, still more work to be done by Inter Miami, but this first step with Fafa is showing really, really good signs. This is going to wrap up this live stream, this episode, um, here on the SoFlo Soccer channel. Thank you to everybody that has tuned in. Shout out uh to the new jersey. I love this jersey, man. I love this jersey so much. And I just love everything about it. I'm very glad. Thank you, Santa, for giving me this jersey. I love it. I love it. I love it. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully, this is most likely going to be the last live stream of the new year because it's like literally tomorrow is New Year's Eve, so which is insane. So literally tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic New Year's Eve party or whatever you guys end up doing. Spend it with friends, spend it with family, spend it with loved ones. Be responsible. Don't do anything stupid. And hopefully, I can see you back in 2025, all in one piece, and hopefully with more news and signings to discuss here on this channel. Have a great night, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the new year.